Hello, planet Earth. I am Chris Machete Cochran. How's it going? You know, I lived in New Jersey for a while in the States, and everybody, well, not everybody, there was a good handful of people that were under the impression that here in Canada, we get here snow all the time, eh? But we don't. It's super hot here. I'm being tell you can see the sun I got on my face. I was out all weekend working on the yard. I should get some photos of my yard up sometime. Show all the strangers where I live. Just kidding. So I had my normal long weekend. I hope you had or not long weekend. The kids had the Friday off around here, so it seemed like a long weekend because it was busy. It was busy. My buddy Brent and co-host is stuck in security at the border in, I don't know, in Mexico or somewhere like that. I hope he doesn't get searched in a very uncomfortable place. Anyway, so he's not going to be here again. I'm flying solo again while he's going through security in somewhere. I think it's Mexico, Saudi Arabia, maybe it's in Saudi Arabia. Imagine that. Classic. So over the weekend, I got lots of sun, did some yard work. Of course, I had my folks over. Hello. We didn't barbecue though. We ordered out, got some Chinese food, some Canadian Chinese food, I guess you would call it, because it was like the Mandarin. They order in here, and it's really good. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, why wouldn't you go to the buffet? Or you're thinking with me, you're like, I know why you did not go to the buffet. So some people love the buffet, some people don't. I get pressure when I'm at the buffet and all you can eat. I feel like I have to stuff myself until I'm full. No, what's my quote? Full and tired. I'm full and tired. Don't feel too good. I don't like doing that to myself, so I'd rather just relax and have my meal. And they give you a lot too in the delivery. It's pretty exciting. So, excuse me. So we had my folks over again, and we're on this wrestling kick where we've been watching Dark Side of the Ring, we've been watching WrestleMania's kind of going back and forth, and we did Dark Side of the Ring again, and we watched the story of Owen Hart with my folks. Wow, that was something. They've never seen that one. Holy cow. So the Owen Hart story, if you don't know about it, he's the brother of Bret Hart, famous wrestler, and Owen fell from the rafters down onto the ring. His this little latch that was supposed to hold him broke, and he fell. I can't remember how far he fell from, but he fell on the side of the ring. And this was in 1998 or 99? 99 that this happened. And so it was the death of Bret Hart and his wife, and I can't remember her name, but Mrs. Hart.
Owen Hart.
Owen Hart. What did I say? Bret Hart? I'm sorry. Thank you. That's why you're here. Owen Hart passed away from that, and Owen Hart's wife was just after Vince McMahon and the WWE to owe up to what happened. She ended up getting 18 million, I believe. Yeah. And the sad thing is that even members of the Hart family were telling her not to do it, to leave it alone. Right. So that's another episode of Dark Side of the Ring. Again, me being a Gen Xer and growing up watching a lot of this wrestling live when it happened, I see the things behind the scene now. And it's really interesting, especially like Hulk Hogan. We all know about Hulk Hogan now, but back in the day, wow. There's myself and a lot of kids around the world who took his word for serious. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you do. Yeah. So the wrestling back in the day is hilarious. So that's why I like to watch it with my folks. But I find that they're really enjoying the Dark Side of the Ring stuff, which is a little darker, right? We've watched Macho Man and Elizabeth's story, and now the Owen Hart story, which is awesome. Good times, right on. And we ordered in, as I mentioned. That's what happened there. All right, so Machete Comics online. I haven't put too much stuff up this week because I have been very busy. I have some new ventures in the works that are very large, and it took a lot of my time. There's a cat in the room. I could feel his presence. So what we were discussing, though, online was wrestlers that were in comic books. And I was looking, and I think the best example we could find was this. Demon Spawn Skeletron number 3. There's El Terrifico, the first appearance of El Terrifico, and he's a wrestler. There he is. El Terrifico. So as you can see in this issue, there's a lot of wrestling stuff that goes on. Basically what happens here in Skeletron 3 is we find what's going on in the city of Kingston. And we find out that a former wrestling superstar has now retired, taken over the old jail, here in Kingston, and started a cult, wrestling cult. So to audition to get in the cult, you got to fight. There's a big wrestling match that goes on. As you can see, it's black and white art, so it's really, really classic looking. Yeah. There we go. Look, he's over here. Yeah, Pinky. He's coming down. He's going to smack this dude on the floor. And you can see by the background, it's in the jail. Have you ever been to the Kingston jail? That's the stuff we're talking about. So, if you want a great example of a wrestler in comic books, you got to pick up Skeletron #3 from Machete Comics. Just put my hand over there. It's right there. You can buy that from our Etsy store. I don't know. We have our Etsy store here somewhere. My producer might have to help me out with that when I don't see our Etsy store stuff. I don't think I'm flying. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So there's the bundle of all 3 Skeletron books.
Yeah, but that will take you to the site if you want to get the individual one.
Thank you. That's great. No, well, that's a great deal. $20 for 3 issues. That's really, really good. It's a good deal. And then you can get the whole story in there, right? Number 1, 2, 3. But number 3 has your wrestler, El Terrifico. He's pretty rad. All right, now let's move on to some other new stuff that we have coming out from our comic company. Now, something we've been working on for a while that I'm really excited about is our gods and goddesses from the Marvel, or our gods and goddesses from the Machete universe. So this would be the goddess of nature. And this one's being worked on right here in the coloring studio. It was being worked on today. I was really digging it. So what we're going to do, is have these are going to be posters. And they're going to have down here a cool little evil poem about nature, the goddess of nature. So this is the black and white copy. We've got a few of these kind of things coming through. It's like war. There's God, the Prince of Nightmares. Love. There's lots more. I'm just blanking on some of them. Sorry. Because I want to move over because we have a good contest coming up. So this I will be hosting on. I'll just splash this across my online stations. All right, folks. So you can find me on Twitter, Chris Machete. You can find me on Facebook, Chris Machete. You can find me on Instagram, Chris Machete or Machete Comics. You can find me on Twitter. Yeah, on all those, and of course on YouTube as well, Chris Machete. Chris Machete Music, I think it is on there. But if you put in Chris Machete in the search in Google, you're going to find tons of my online stuff. Now, here's the contest that we have coming up. This is what we call a blank cover that artists can get. All right, now you can see, if you open it up, and the comic book's in there. I'm doing this backwards. And, there's the comic book's in there, right? It's a whole story. I didn't do the art on the inside. This is an already printed comic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a custom cover, just one. This is it. I'm going to go right on this, so it's going to be a piece of artwork. I go on with white paint, white ink, looks snazzy. So this is going to be a giveaway. I'm going to be asking questions over the next 2 weeks. This is going to be one of the giveaways. Wow, our cat's having a fit. We're going to be giving away this and one other prize. I like to give away 2 because there will only be 2. Beans agrees. He's meowing down there. I don't know what he's going to do, but that's okay, folks. Just ignore the cat. We almost need mood music in behind us, right? All right. So this is going to be part of the new contest. Blank cover. I'm not good at spinning things around like that. I always go the wrong way. I don't know if I'd make it on The Price is Right. That's still around The Price is Right? That'd be cool. That was the other thing we watched. So this is a giveaway. The other thing we watched with my folks was Deal or No Deal. Hello, models. Where they bring out the models and such. Yeah, I'm just going to close the door. You'll be able to see me. I'll be right over here. Yeah, now we won't hear him until he comes right up to the door. So again, we were watching Deal or No Deal as well from back in the day with Howie and all the models. And my folks were watching that. We watched the Dark Side of the Mat. Then we watched Deal or No Deal. What made me think of Deal or No Deal? Maybe it was the cat yelling in my ears. Change the segment, right? So that's my weekend, and that's what's going on with Machete Comics. Because they're all as one, right? They're usually all as one. So, giveaway coming up. If you're a Ghost Rider fan, this is a must. I'm going to put original artwork on this. Free shipping in Canada, too. You don't pay anything. You just got to win the contest. There'll be something else as well. Custom cover. There'll only be one of these in the world, and you will own it. Or maybe you. Or maybe you. We don't know. All right. Top fives. But I don't think we can jump away from this as quickly as people have suggested. Now, this has been shunned by a lot of people. I would love it if the Crier Media friends would share this. And maybe we can get a handle on what's going on. I think the more pressure we put on Brent and Vince McMahon, the more we're going to get to the bottom of this. I think maybe Vince doesn't want it known that Brent's part of Crier Media. Vince is a bit of a douche, right? He's a bit of a douche. So if Brent and LA Knight were the same people, Brent would get some liberties there. All right. So
Brent might
Vince
be
would
here.
not want that known.
Brent might be
At all.
here to be able to weigh in on that.
Brent, okay, so Brent is now made it through the security. He was frisked in a very uncomfortable place, the back of a Volkswagen. They pull it up, they frisk him there, they let him go.
Right.
All right, so he's here. He's here, and wow, you ever looking like a certain wrestler tonight, my friend, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, it's Brent Donnelly. How's it going, bud?
I'm doing all right, buddy. What's going on? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. My cat's having a fit, dude. Beans is having a meltdown. I think I'm just gonna open the door and let him go. So what, you made it through security, you're okay?
All is well.
Good.
All is
They brought the Volkswagen up, they put you in there, they took you out.
I'm doing okay. Hello to everybody watching at home.
Yay! Yeah, you didn't miss much. I was just going over a few things. Just our new giveaway is gonna be the Ghost Rider. And it's like the actual issue,
yeah.
right? This is the like artists get these. And I'm gonna paint or ink on in white.
Oh, very cool.
So one copy available. So, and then I'll have one other thing, as I mentioned. Over the next 2 weeks, I'll be throwing the same question over my social media. I don't know what it is yet. We'll think of something rad, and then the top 2 we'll pick live whenever we get a chance. It might be pre-recorded, but we'll do the draw, and we will pick a lucky winner. Man, it's exciting. So what
like
country
what
are
we
you in? I was guessing Mexico, and then Brazil, and then Tijuana. Where are you?
I'm in Israel,
You're in Israel.
and I'm about to.
Do you have to
fly
watch
Madrid.
religious things when? Sorry, I'm cutting you off. Sorry, go ahead.
And then I'm about to fly to Madrid, Spain.
Madrid, Spain. Okay, that's pretty rad. Hey, fun fact.
Answer to your first question.
Okay,
Yes, you gotta watch your thing. Sorry to interrupt. It's okay.
they're gonna frisk him again. Are you ready, folks? We're gonna see it live. They're about to pull him away. Oh, look, he's getting nervous too. He knows.
Sure.
You're under arrest.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to do that here. Whoa, Jesus, they're gonna take him away.
Life on the road, buddy.
You're about to
Go
get
ahead.
arrested, weren't you?
No, I'm good. I made it through.
That was pretty intense. You could have played that up for us.
But I picked an apple. I picked an apple drink, which I didn't realize it was an apple drink because it's all in Hebrew.
You know, I'm not big on apple drinks myself, or alcohol, like a cider. You know, I don't like the cider. I'm not big on the cider.
I'm just going with it.
Nice, dude. Is it ever hot here? I got to take down my. I got to strip down here a bit.
Well, I'll raise you a little bit. It was 102 when I landed the other day,
Wow. You're in an air-conditioned spot now, right?
but she cooled down last night to like probably 25. It was great for a concert. It's great.
So what's airport food like?
Ooh, I didn't have any yet because we came right from the show right to here. So I'm
Right.
still rolling after a little bit of food from the show. So I'm just kind of I'll eat when I land. Yeah.
Can you get like a hot dog?
Yes, actually, I just passed the hot dog stand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just passed the hot dog stand.
You
What
should
it-
have a hot dog for lunch and a hamburger for dinner.
It's 4 a.m. So
Okay.
it'll be breakfast.
All right, that's
breakfast.
cool too. There you go. That's good. That's good. All right, dude. So yeah, you just came in right after.
I've got
What's long-
about
what?
Well,
I
we're
got
gonna
about
talk
10
about
minutes,
this.
10, 12 minutes, and then I got.
Okay, great. So you gonna address this? Just let me know when you gotta go.
I think I put it.
Okay,
I
Lonnie.
think I put it on my Twitter that.
Okay, good.
I was hanging out. Yeah,
So you're on your way to a wrestling match, is what you're saying?
maybe.
Hey man, I'm a big fan. Go on.
Yeah. It's funny. The WWE was here. It was in the Middle East, and then I had landed just behind it when they left, actually,
Mm-hmm.
for that pay-per-view. So everyone was buzzing in the area. They're all like, "Oh, WWE was just here," and half the people that were working the concert were all working over there. So it's kind of
Right. That's awesome. That's awesome. Do I need my headphones on, or am I good here like this?
I mean, I'm hearing an echo on my end your way, but I'm fine.
Okay. Lonnie, we're okay? Okay, great. Great. I was just checking. Because usually I have my headphones on. All right. So you're just in time for this. So we're going to do some top fives, right?
All right.
Now, these are... I'm gonna do top 5 ways to throw a cat out into the backyard in a minute here.
Okay.
I'm just joking. My cat. If you've never met Beans, he thinks he's people. And if there's something going on he doesn't like, he yells and yells and yells and yells. Although, Sidebar fun fact. My mom was in her favorite chair here. You know how we have folks have favorite chairs?
Yeah.
Beans jumped up behind her on the chair and was like headbutting her and licking her head and biting her hair and just kind of cuddling around her nog. And my mom was just like, oh my God. And I was like, no, just let him do his thing. He's not going to do anything nasty. And he's just protecting her, right? It's just nice to see. So in saying that, he's yelling all over the place. Just today, he just wants to go outside. I've been working. So there's my cat fact. So here's what we're going over, buddy. I'm going to go over some top fives of things. I want to go over some possibly lesser known things because I always dig that. Now, the first thing I've talked about this movie before, so I'd like to lead off on talking about a few underrated movies that maybe you can suggest and jog your mind once you see some of these. I always talk about this one. This is a movie I watch every summer. I can't watch this in the wintertime. I have to watch it in the summer. The Burbs. It's funny because you gotta draw the line of what you like. I've heard so much bad stuff about Tom Hanks lately, right? But I love this movie so much, so I'm sticking with it. But there's so much other great talent in it, and it's a Corey Feldman movie.
I know, and he was on fire then. And well, without getting too much, but his new podcast is doing really well, and he's doing all this press right now, so he's gonna be back soon. He's become really close to that guy that does the Nope movies. Nope.
Right.
Up, and he wants to put a movie in with him. So. Yeah.
Right. Hey, Kim's out there. It all sounds great. Hi, Kim.
The one who wins everything.
Thanks for tuning. Yeah, we got another contest coming up, Kim. It's a good one. If you saw that, this Ghost Rider. This is a Ghost Rider comic book. It's gonna be up for grabs. It's a full comic book. I'm gonna draw a custom cover for somebody. Yeah. All right. So now this movie, they did a remake of this, and I wasn't much for the remake. But this original movie, Tron, dang, and I've got like the 20th anniversary collector's edition going on here or something, right? See, I was a big fan growing up of Tron. I love the colors of it. I just find when I watch it and I see all that, it really brings me back to when I was a kid. This is the original 1970.
I think that movie suffered from science fiction overload.
Oh, what, the newer one? Or the old one?
The original. I mean, I dug it. It was on all the cereal boxes, but it just, people were like, "What is this?" And we had just got the Star Wars and
Well, and the funny thing was, dude, is like he's wearing hockey gear, right? Like he's got, especially the helmet. He's wearing hockey gear, but the colors of it. I was around when it came out. Excuse me. And the games and everything. I had have them down here. I love the video game. There was a stand-up arcade game, a Tron one, when I was younger. I just loved it, man. But so this movie here, I just find it's great. And if you put it on, the colors, you can watch this with your kids too, if you have kids. And I find that the colors will hypnotize them. Next thing you know, they're like watching it all, and it's really cool. It's just the vibe of it. I love vibe. Right now, this is another one that's just, every time I bring this one up, people are like, "Oh my God, I forgot about that movie. It's so good." John Cusack, Better Off Dead. $2. Like, this is just a great summertime movie as well, right? You see, I'm showing you DVDs, huh? Because this is downstairs in my back cave where I watch all these classics. Because you can't; these are a little harder to find just online unless you bought them. You know, like I don't think you're going to find this on Netflix or Prime or anything. You know, Tron you will find on Disney. So Better Off Dead, and this is a young John Cusack. The sad thing about John Cusack is he's gone the way of guys like Nikki Sixx, where he just throws all his earlier stuff under the bus, and it's why you love the guy. So again, it's like, guys, anybody out there, if you've done anything that's put you famous and you're above the line now, don't make fun of the stuff that you've done early, because that's why us true fans like you. So you're making us feel like you don't want us as fans anymore. Like Nikki Sixx, man. Like, dude, you're hurting guys' feelings out there who grew up listening to your music, my friend. Shout at the Devil was a piece of artwork. It was great. And to say it's trash and it's garbage, that hurts my feelings. Anyway, here's another great one, Brent. Do you remember this one? Return of the Living Dead.
So that was the one that you would always go to the local store and rent just for the cover when you're my age, because the cover was so cool.
And then the soundtrack, yeah, "Do You Wanna Party?"
Yeah, it was great.
And it was kind of hokey, but yet enough scary that it kind of kept you on your heels. And a great storyline. This is not associated with Night of the Living Dead. This is Return of the Living Dead, right? And again, this is just another under the radar kind of movie you can put on and go from beginning to end and just have a great time. This is like a date movie, I would think. If you had a significant other, somebody you were impressing on it, impressing. You always want to impress your date, right? Unless you want to get out of there. But thanks, Kim. Yeah, classic. But this is a great date movie, or first time getting to know somebody movie.
Well, you can just tell you want to keep dating him after you watch it.
You tell after, exactly, right? Exactly. This, like I love dark humor. I'm a big dark humor guy, and I have to really keep it under control because I say dark things, and if you don't understand me, then you're gonna be like, that guy is psycho. Okay, now do you know this one? This movie inspired the "Smells Like
Matt
Teen
Dillon?
Spirit" video. Look at that young,
Yeah,
look at a
I
young,
think I heard that story.
young Matt
Matt
Dillon.
Dillon.
This is like a late 70s movie. The soundtrack's fantastic. You know, it's got some Cheap Trick on there. It's got, what else is on there? There's some Van Halen on there. And the cool thing about it is that it's the beginning of Matt Dillon. Matt Dillon's awesome, right? Like, I don't know. I like Matt Dillon. Big fan. And this is, again, your 70s kids growing up in a small town, kind of suburb. They keep promising that they're going to bring in movie theaters and skate parks for them, and they don't. They close it out and just bring in more homes and more factories for them. So the kids are like breaking the law, and they're like smoking hash and doing acid, and just being like young kids in America. Great movie, dude. Again, another one.
That was all that group too. That all had really great movies out of there. He was supposed to get a ton of roles out of that, and he turned them all down.
Yeah, dude, this was a brilliant movie. Again, these are all movies that if you put them on, next thing you know, you're halfway through it. Wild, man. Wild. Now, as I was mentioning, so that's my top, those are my top 5 under the radar kind of movies that I suggest you watching that you can watch all the way through. You know what I'm saying? Now, we were discussing, I watched Clerks 3 finally today, and holy cow, that was sad.
Yeah, dude, I was thinking about you the whole time, not because of the sad part, but just because of the way Kevin wrote it. I was like, you're going to love it. I thought you were going to love how he wrote it. It didn't
Clerks
flow
3, the new one.
quite,
Oh, yeah.
it didn't flow quite as didn't flow quite as smooth as I thought it was going to, but it definitely hit on all the points.
Right.
Really good.
I just watched it while I was doing some work in the studio there. But it was sad, man. There's some real serious tearjerker spots there. Holy cow! I don't want to ruin what's going on. I just want to say it's not farting dick jokes through the whole thing, is it?
Not particularly, but there's some good ones in there.
There is, yeah. Well, at the beginning it starts that way, right? Because you meet Buddy, keep forgetting the dude's name who keeps changing his religion in there. And he's like the new Jay and Silent Bob. He has the buddy that doesn't say anything, right? And that was hilarious off the beginning. And then it got really serious. So I don't want to, again, spoil anything, but wow.
You know what makes those movies so good, though, and what makes Clerks 2, he touches so much on, like, the best friend thing. And,
yes, oh, geez, yeah.
And just the dynamics of the best friends. And all 3 of the movies he's done that. Clerks 2 was, and he just really went for it on this one. And I just think that if you've grown up with the characters, you know the struggles that he's had with Jeff Anderson in real life, the struggles he's had with Jason Lee in real life, and Ben Affleck. Anytime he puts these guys in these movies and reconnects with them, I think it's great. I just think it adds to that reconnection.
Yeah, it was good. It was just I I expected the first sad scene. And I was like, oh my God, wow. And then there was another one, and then there was another one, but it was good. So I don't want to ruin too much. I also saw Knock at the Cabin Door. Now, we haven't been able to discuss. Have you seen that? Okay, so so that is with M. Night Shyamalan, right? Yeah, so I didn't know this, but this was from a book originally, and he got about the halfway point and he switched it up, okay? Obviously, we're talking about the horseman and the end of the world in this, right? You see it. When I was describing it to my parents, I was like, this great big guy comes and knocks on your cabin door, and they're like, oh God, no, I don't know if I can watch that. And I was like, well, no, it's not like an attack violent movie. Again, I don't want to spoil a lot about it. It's more about, good and evil and the higher picture of things. Batista puts a great performance in there, man. I thought he did really, really well. Like now, there's people coming into the airport.
Did you like the movie itself?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was good. It kept me going through the very end. I was looking again. What's that?
M. Night's been off a little bit, but he had a movie he did a little while ago called Old. That was supposed to be really great that I never watched. It's a bunch of people that live on an island that get old. They add 10 years to their life every day or something. It's pretty cool.
I'll have to check that out. Well, there's something I don't want to ruin it, but there's something that he's known for Doesn't happen. He's known for a lot of things. One of them doesn't happen that you're waiting for. Because, you know, when you get to know these guys like Quentin Tarantino, you're waiting for... You Marvel movie, you're waiting for the extra scene, you know. His movies, there's something you're looking for throughout or waiting for, one or the other. And it's not there. So that was... But it was good. Because I was really impressed with Batista. Drax, I thought he put in a really good job in there as the lead guy. That's tough. So he's trying to play, just to describe his character a bit, he's trying to play a huge, imposing giant of a man who delivers everything he says with kindness. All his gestures, everything he does with kindness. But when you see him, you're like, holy cow, man. Like, yeah, he's going to pop that girl's head, right? But yeah, so again, I thought he did a really good job acting in it, and it made it a lot more enjoyable for me. Because I'm a fan of his as well.
Well, make sure you watch Guardians of the Galaxy 3 then when it comes out, because it's pretty.
Yeah,
good.
I will. I'll check that out.
Right. We're gonna board, bud. I gotta jump.
Okay, buddies. Hey, thanks for stopping in, buddy.
Hey, I did my best to get here.
All right, man. Well, peace, safe travels. Stay at the back of the Volkswagen.
Yeah, we'll catch up in a bit. I'm gonna hopefully be back next Monday.
All right, and if you need any bail money, just let me know.
Send it in pesos.
Okay, I will.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay, take care, buddy. See ya.
Okay, man. Bye.
All right.
How do I get out?
He's stuck in the airport. You just keep it on while you go through the plane, and we could do one of those episodes like crossing the border. All right. Does Brent? There he is. So I think he's on his way to a wrestling match. We know Raw's already been filmed, right? Raw's done. We watch Raw late at night. Yeah. So Kim, thanks for the comments and passing that on to Brent. Safe travels. Right on. One of our favorite viewers, because my folks are out there too. So we have a group of favorite viewers. Yes, excellent work. They're followers of the Cult of Machete. They are in the Cult of Machete. I'm your favorite cult leader / comic book artist here. Now, I'm talking about top fives and such. And here's something that I may have taken a little too. I don't know how many I have here. I'm not doing these in any order. All right, I'm just kind of showing you top 5 things, and these are lesser known things that I've been showing you, like the movies there off the very, very beginning. Man, I need a haircut, right? That'll be the next question. Do I need a haircut? Yes or no? It's not really a right answer. All right. Marvel Studios owns Marvel Comics. Some of the greatest characters known to humans and other species on this planet. Marvel Comics have so many characters that have not seen the light of day, that have not gone from pages to screen, or just didn't get enough appearances in the pages. Here's one of them. I'm just going to show you. This is Machine Man. I want to show you the actual book so you can kind of catch the date and the era. And you see, this was back 35 cents. So this is probably like 1978, 79, 1978. Machine Man. Look at this dude. The living robot. So I love the look of this guy, the colors of him. He was a machine. He was a living robot. So he had all this cool tech that's inside his head and inside his arms and all stuff like that, right? Grow it long. You've had it much longer. I have had it much longer than that, man. It's driving me nuts, Kim. I don't know. At first I was just proving that I could grow my hair long again because I'm 50 and I'm getting old. Jesus mode, right? Yeah. So, Machine Man, living robot. I really think Marvel should get a hold of this character and do something with it. This is Jack Kirby created. Now, Jack Kirby is one of the originals who was in on the Fantastic Four, Thor, bring him in, Captain America, all the great ones. So, most of the things, the Eternals. Yeah, Jack Kirby was responsible for the Eternals as well. Didn't like the way that was presented. I'm going to give that one a pass, but Machine Man should be brought in. I think it'd be really, really rad. Living robot. I think that'd be cool. Okay, another one. Now, this is more of a space-oriented theme. And this was a toy first from the 80s or 70s, because this would be another. Oh, no, this would be 80s, wouldn't it? I don't want to open it. Usually it says. So, Rom Space Knight. Now, here we have him crossing over with the X-Men a little bit here, but Rom is the silver dude in the middle, and he's a Space Knight. So, we'd have him coming from another planet or visit him on his adventures throughout the galaxy type thing. There he is again, the silver dude right there. fighting the X-Men and some other creatures. So Rom Space Knight, I think, would be another great character to bring in and take a run with on Marvel. A totally unknown character. You wouldn't have a lot of people with preconceived notions on how the character should be. But once it got going, again, if it's done by the right people, I'd like to do it. I think Rom Space Knight would be another great one. On the radar. Now, this guy's been seen in, I think, Guardians, I believe. Probably another space Marvel movie or TV show that I'm just losing right now. But Nova. A man called Nova. Now, right now, there's a whole bunch. There's Nova Guards. There's the character Nova. I would like to go back to the original Richard Rider Nova here, which would be great. Look at his bucket head. Isn't that awesome? Again, you can tell this is late 70s, especially by the price. If you're a comic book goer and you're just starting out, 35 cents is a good indication. You're, 77. 77. So you're in the 30s there. Still 35 cents. Nova. Look at him. Classics, right? There he's fighting the Mandarin in this issue. So I think he would be a really good character to bring in. Again, another one that's under the radar. His costumes in the newer movies have looked really rad. Really, really rad. But I still like the classics. You got to start with the classic and move forward. Come on. Now, this is one that a lot of my 80s friends who collect comics are going, you got to be kidding me. But just stick with me here. Now, we've got Team America. Now, I'm not just saying this so my Team America collection finally goes up in value. I'm saying this because they could have had this as an evolution. They could have started out as just these guys on bikes who were doing tricks and racing. And then eventually they discovered they had mutant powers because they did connect this comic book, Team America, with the X-Men. And they were in, I think it was the last issue they did. It was maybe number 5 or something. I just brought up number 1 here. And their whole deal was riding bikes and stuff. I don't even remember the premise if there really was one. They just jumped on the motorcycle craze, right? Again, this is the 80s, so 60 cents. So this would have been early 80s for sure. Wow. I just love that stuff. It just really takes me back. This thing's a new bag. But Team America, I think they should have started them as a bunch of bikers that did tricks, like Evel Knievel to us old folks. And then evolution brought them up in the story to be these cool kind of mutants who had some kind of powers or superheroes, right? And they didn't need their bikes, or maybe one of them kept the bike. Yeah, probably the dude in the back, the Master Marauder, I believe they called him. He would keep his bike. So there's another one, Team America. So we got Team America, Nova, Rom, Space Knight, Machine Man, Living Robot. See, that's what makes these guys do, which is funny. It's not just Machine Man, it's Machine Man, Living Robot. And I think that's friggin' awesome. Now, Team America only had Team America. And this isn't America, F yeah. That's not that Team America. This is a different Team America, just so you know. Okay. Nova, Rom, Space Knight. Okay, here's a cool one that I think they have done in a TV show a bit, maybe. But I don't really watch some of the older Marvel TV, the S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. ones. I think, Son of Satan? Maybe? There he is down here. Mirror of Judgment, Son of Satan. Again, you can tell 30 cents. This is our 70s comics. Don't see a price or a date on this one. I'm thinking 77. Son of Satan. Oh, that's rad. He looks so. I'm going to open this one up. I'll show you some other pictures. Getting a lot of glare off that one. Another lesser known character that if they went back and started with his actual origin and what happens with him and his look, they could have some gold. Now, let me get this up here. Why is it not clear? Is that clear when I put my face in front of it? Yeah, look at that. I love these old ads as well. We got old ads over here for cool old binders. Yeah. So part of the best spot of old comics has to be the ads in here, right? If you're a comic collector, you'll remember Snap into a Slim Jim. Those were in here a lot. And of course, all the Marvel stuff that you could buy. And look, friends, you can win your choice of neat prizes. Oh, that stuff brings back memories. But all the cool Marvel stuff you could buy that you couldn't find in Canada, right? So Son of Satan, that would be a rad story if Marvel did it correctly. But they'd have some room, as I mentioned, because people aren't going to freak out about these characters. These are some lesser known hidden gems, as some of my students like to say. Hidden gems, my friend. Yeah. So we got Son of Satan. I think I had another one. Oh, okay. Actually, I got a couple more. I think I did more than 5 here, possibly. Okay, now this one, you're going to say, this isn't a lesser-known character, but in the scheme of things, with all the characters that Marvel has on hand, I think this is a lesser-known character. This could be huge. And I'm talking about the Silver Surfer. And look at Galactus there. This is when you bring Galactus in with the Silver Surfer, man, because the Silver Surfer came in with Galactus. Again, Jack Kirby created them. Stan Lee helped a bit. He named him the Silver Surfer and created Galactus's idea. The idea of Galactus, Kirby brings it to life. But Jack Kirby was responsible for the Silver Surfer. He just came back to Stan with Galactus and the Silver Surfer, and Stan Lee says, Jack, who's the silver guy? And he says, well, I just thought, somebody that big as Galactus would need a herald of some sort to scout ahead, to lead his way. And Stan said, hey, okay, let's call him the Silver Surfer. So stating the obvious, Peter Parker, Silver Surfer, that's how you got that. So I think doing this proper now, and they could CGI the crap out of this, and it wouldn't really bother any of the diehard fans. As I say, I'm starting to hope for a little more story than CGI, but this is something you can CGI the hell out of, man. Again, I gotta get some new bags for these, or I'm buying cheap bags. I don't know. There's a John Byrne one, like the Silver Surfer. Look at him just standing on a planet, destruction going on behind him. Here's a great classic right here. Wow, look at that one. Again, fighting these dudes. I don't know who would get to play the Silver Surfer. That'd be the next Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves would do a really good Silver Surfer, actually. He'd have to be bald, of course. But I think Keanu Reeves would do good. I think everybody goes to Keanu Reeves, don't they? Get Keanu Reeves to play it. He hasn't been in Marvel yet. Mm-hmm. We're running out of actors and actresses to be in the Marvel Universe, right? Okay, so I have two other mention here. These are just like on the tail end of it. So, so we had Power Man and we had Iron Fist in the TV show, and man, I did not like the way they were presented. It should have been way more gritty, man. It should have been like rated R. He's on the streets of Harlem where there's criminals. They don't care about people's lives. There's going to be swearing. There's going to be blood. Now, in this section of the story of Power Man and Iron Fist, they are fighting Sabretooth and the Constrictor. Again, this is 1982. 1982, what a great year. These stories of Power Man and Iron Fist were gritty, man. Really gritty. So there's Sabretooth. I think it's like the Sabretooth's second appearance maybe right here. You're going to get some great stuff from these Iron Fist and Power Man and Iron Fist comic books. The TV show, it just was so soft. Especially Iron Fist. He was just very rich and was on this journey for his karate stuff, which was great, because you need that in the story. But get to it and get to the real parts of the fun and the adventures that people want to see. Luke Cage, man, he's fighting in the alleys in Harlem. Come on. You tell me there's nobody swearing there? Man, my producer's falling asleep. Me just talking about it, right? Now, here, one more. Omega, the Unknown. Again, if it was just Omega, wouldn't matter. It's Omega, the Unknown. Look at these bags. This is really haunting me. I don't like this. Omega, the Unknown. Just look at him. He's cool. Costume like that. Again, he's one of those, he's like a kid and then a hero. So it's in the same vein as like Spider-Man, but like a space twist to it. Okay. And Omega, again, these are from the late 70s. I love these late 70s comic books, right? So there are some underrated Marvel gem characters that people and or whoever's doing the thinking at Marvel, because nothing's going on there, they should get some of these underrated, lesser known hidden gem characters. I think that'd be really cool. But what would you pick, producer?
For unknown?
Yep. What unknown Marvel character would you like to bring in? You can think about it while or you got it?
Well, unknown though?
Well, okay. Well, that isn't like Captain America, Black Widow.
Okay. Well, I do like Dazzler.
I
mean,
okay, that's a great example. The Dazzler. And again, I didn't bring a lot of female comics up, and I apologize for that. The Dazzler would be a great one. That's why I asked my producer, right? The Dazzler would be really cool, because she started out as a disco dancer, because this was in the early 80s that she came up. And she was a disco dancer, and she could manipulate light, right? So at first, that doesn't seem like much of a power. You're this girl who's a dancer, singer, and wow, she makes rock shows without having to spend any money on electricity. No, but man, can you imagine? She eventually became super powerful, right? Because controlling light you can make light knives, but you could flash people and make them blind. You can make them frozen for a second just by flashing it. Like, I can't see. What's going on? Help me, right? So Dazzler's really cool. And then she joins the X-Men, of course. She first appears in the X-Men during one of my favorite runs, sidebar, the John Byrne run with Chris Claremont. So I'm behind a Dazzler movie myself. See, now here's the thing that sucks for me picking actors and actresses, and you might find the same thing, is that I'm not in step with the younger actresses and actors, so I don't know who would play her. Sharon Stone would be too old.
Way too old.
Way too old. So I'm not up on a lot of the younger actresses. So that's until I see them, and then I'll see them again. Like, oh, I saw her in another movie. But, you know, it's tough for me to remember them all. But anyway, yeah, I'd get behind a Dazzler movie. Of course, anybody else you can think of? Any other female characters that are going under the radar a bit? Storm would be a good one, but I'd rather see her with the X-Men. I'd rather see her with she needs more of a team, I think, where Dazzler, I think, could do a movie by herself or a TV show, because her backstory would be cool too, right?
Yeah. Well, where there's magic.
Oh, yeah. Lilandra? Lilindra? Oh, what's her name? Colossus's little sister?
I don't know. You did some drawings of her. And
Yes.
so.
Not Lilandra. Lillian? No, man. There's too many, again, the Marvel names. She's a demon sorceress. That would be cool, too. Now, she was in the New Mutants movie. That last New Mutants movie.
Oh, we did.
She was in there. We did watch that. Yes, we did.
I don't remember.
So the New Mutants movie, which isn't that bad. It's not going anywhere now, right?
Oh.
There was some great one of the actors from Stranger Things was in it.
Okay.
Yeah, as well as there's some other great actors and actresses in there. You should check that one out. And there's another actress from the Tits and Dragons show, which is Game of Thrones. Yes. So New Mutants. Check that out, friends. You might like that.
Is it on Disney?
Yeah, it's on Disney. Well, want to watch it?
Right.
Want to watch it? All right, well, we're going to watch it. We'll watch it tomorrow morning. I like watching movies sometimes when I get up in the morning. Because I'm just like in a stare, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so keep moving here. So another thing that I enjoyed when I was a kid was not having a cat yelling at the door. But I love my Atari games. Now, this is, again, I love the retro feel of things. So one of the very first home systems was the Atari. Now, I know what you're thinking. It was the first home entertainment system. Well, not really. There's been others before that have Pong on it. I have one downstairs. I didn't want to bring it up and go through all that. So if you don't believe me, Google it. But I know y'all trust me because I am the leader of the cult. So what I want to talk about is Atari games. Now, the first thing about Atari games is, looking back now, how indestructible they were. I can remember dropping these and thinking, oh my God, but nothing's going to happen. It's like this chip kind of thing in the middle, like a large chip in the middle. The case is just there. Space Invaders was the very first video game that I played in an arcade. Yeah, I'm old. And I was just hooked. So when this came out on the home system of the Atari that I had, that my parents were generous enough to get me, I was all over it. But here's the cool thing. One of the things that I wanted to bring up about these Atari games. Look at the graphics on that. Yeah, I loved Atari. Me too. Brings back such good memories. Now, the thing about these was, too, the artwork. It was like, oh my God, this game must be amazing, right? And the artwork made it look like you're going to be playing this super detailed game, but it was just like blocks and stuff, which was kind of cool. Well, you know, looking back on it, it's just the pictures give you memory. Now, this is 1978, right? So it would have been 1977 when I was really young, 5 or 6 years old. Holy cow. Playing Space Invaders. All right. Now, some of my collecting goes a little, like, if I see a really good deal somewhere, I'll buy it. No, I don't usually, like, this is $5. This is unreal. So this is one's still in the box. I got Venture. This is from 1981. I didn't have this since I was a kid. I bought it, but one of the reasons I wanted to bring this up is because of the stand-up arcade. Those were so cool. One day I'm going to get one of those. First, a pinball machine. So yeah, so I still have the cartridge inside here. This is how they came. Asteroids and Frogger. I am really good at Frogger, Kim. Yeah. Those are both. Asteroids, I think, was the second game I ever played, like in arcade format, and it was a tabletop game on a ski trip that my parents and a whole bunch of people went on. A whole bunch of a whole bunch of friends went on. There was this tabletop. Sorry, memories. Anyway, so Venture. This is how they came in the box, and you would tip it down this way, and you would get your cartridge. Venture. Didn't work. You blew it. Now, I bet you're wondering, wow, what is in the rest of this box? The instructions. They used to come with instructions. You didn't have to go online. Oh, and plus a little warranty for my cartridge. All right. So you got your instructions in there telling me how to play the game, which is very helpful. All right.
Is there cheat codes back then or cheats?
not when no, there wasn't at this stage. There was no cheat codes. The Nintendo was when the cheat codes came out, and I'm going to show a couple of Nintendo games, the original Nintendo games, right? So that's Venture right from the box. So this is how the cartridges used to come back in the early 80s, late 70s. So that's pretty neat, I thought. That's pretty cool. There's Beans back at the door. Now, also another game that was really interesting. Well, what I'm going to do is show you. I'm just going to reach. I got a bag full of these. So, oh man, so this is funny. Okay, so my dad used to come home and I'd be asleep, I think, but if he had a rough day at work or whatever. And this is old. This is like 1982 or something like that. My dad would play Pole Position on the Atari. He liked that game. If he's watching, he's going, "Oh, I did like that game." There it is, Pole Position. So next time my folks come over for dinner, we can do a retro arcade themed night. Just play some Pole Position. My dad loved that game. Now this is a game again, like I remember being out with my mom in a little mall, little like I guess they call them little dirt malls or whatever, and seeing this. I don't have the box for this anymore, but this was the graphic, and I was just like, "Oh my god, look at that pinball!" Because I love pinball, as I just mentioned. So this was one of my favorites, and I loved it. Actually, I had a really good time playing this. It wasn't close to the way pinball was. Like it was, again, blocks and stuff, right? It was nothing close to this amazing graphic that's on here. But I had such a good time playing this game. Again, 1981. So it would have been like, probably around 10 years old. This was key. Loved this one. One of my favorites. Now I'm just going to reach in, grab a couple more. What do we got here? Oh, okay. This is neat because this goes with another deal I have. So this was a very confusing game. And still is to me. So this is Star Raiders. Now this game came out and it was like this huge deal. Again, 1981. So again, I'm like 10 years old kind of thing. This game came out with Star Raiders. It was supposed to be this brand new kind of sci-fi space game for the Atari, way advanced. And you had to buy your own controller, like this different controller, a control pad. And here it is. I still have it in the box. Look at this darn thing. Yeah, I bought it. It's $5. Yeah, take my $5. So here it is, video touchpad. So again, you had to buy this to go along with it. Craziness, right? Now look at this thing. You need the joystick, which you remember the joystick is, right? And then you got this Star Raiders thing with these there's like little keypad button, and you get this video touchpad. I guess you can assign little things there, but you push these in. They say like 4-view, galaxy map, hyper warp, computer on and off, shields on and off. So it came with this little thing. And I remember it being such a rad idea, and everybody was stoked about it, like all me and my friends, but when we got it, we were confused as hell because we didn't know how to play the damn thing. So that was a little frustrating.
No instructions.
Yeah, but if I show them to you, you'll be like, oh. But you're little too, right? So you're 10 years old.
You just want to play.
Even if you did read them at 10, you couldn't. That was the thing about the game. It was pretty far advanced with what you had to do. Now, this is another one that started it all. This is Combat. Again, look at the graphics on this. This is great. The graphics on this are incredible. Or like on the box. And then you play it and it's blocks. Right, but again, I love this. This came free with your Atari when you bought it. Now I downstairs in my back cave have the Darth Vader Atari, which is all black, and I have the Woody, which is just wood on the top of it. Pretty cool. It's like the side paneling that we all had. I love that stuff. It's Combat, classic. That came free. Everybody had Combat back in the day. Grab a couple more here. We got time left. What do we got? 48. Okay. No, this was another one that was just huge. Pitfall. And I just learned lately that to win at Pitfall, you have to get a certain number of prizes. Like you have to get because you get like a prize value in numbers for all the little things you find. And there's a time limit. And I just found out lately that you needed to get a certain number of prizes to win the game. I thought it just went till, you ran out of time and diddly-din, that was it. So Pitfall, this was a really hardcore game for me too. I loved it. Another game I could just sit down and stare at and play. Side-scrolling. This was some of the first side-scrolling stuff that was really imaginative and cool. Now, another one I pulled out here that goes with one of the movies that I was talking about earlier is the Tron Deadly Discs. Look at the shape of that cartridge as well. Again, you're not going to hurt that thing, right? Tron Deadly Discs. Any Tron game was okay by me back in the day. Go back and see or remember my quotes on the movie. Same deal. The colors and the vibes of it, right? Now, here we have... this is great. Look at the cover of Berserk. This was an arcade game first. Rad graphics. Rad. Look at this. Again, I was like, oh my God, look at that drawing. That artwork is amazing. A fun game, though. A fun game. You're trapped in a room with all these Berserk droids and you got to shoot them. fun game. This I played the hell out of. Holy crap. Dude, this is my first video game hockey I ever had. And as I mentioned, I'm Canadian. I like to drink beer and play hockey. So, oh man, I don't know if I can see the year on this one. This has got to be like 79, 80. Okay. I played the heck out of this game. Oh, my first ice hockey video game. Oh, special memories with that one. I love it. What do we got? Anything else in there? Oh, I got 2 left. Okay, 2 left. We're almost out of time. Oh, this was a fun. I love playing Jungle Hunt. They had this stand-up arcade machine at a little pizza place called Luigi's that was in Ingersoll. And when we would go in there to get pizza, my dad would have to wait a couple minutes, and I'd play a couple games of Jungle Hunt. Now I have it at home, and the graphics aren't too bad on this one. Not too bad. Jungle Hunt, Atari. Now again, Adventures of Tron, another Tron game, and the weird cartridge. Oh, wicked. Tron rules. Tron rules. I had all 3 video games, but I love to get the stand-up machine, as I mentioned. Now, switching over quickly. This was in the arcades. I loved this game, Dragon's Lair. It was like a game changer because you came in with actual cartoon graphics. Now, you couldn't control him per se. You had to make the decisions for him, which is a trailblazer for a lot of video games today, especially the Telltale games where you're just hitting buttons to make decisions. Much like this, but there's no dialogue. This is a great one. This is for my PlayStation 2. So I pop it in there and I play Dragon's Lair, the fantasy adventure game where you are a valiant knight trying to save the princess. Oh, man, the feels for this game. I love this game. Video games. Love video games. Now, excuse me, we all know that the NES was a game changer. We saw Mario. They brought in a different shape of the cartridge. NES is probably, well, because they're still going. You don't see Atari systems anymore. These maybe see Atari games. So NES is a beast, and this is where it started. Basically, and this is one of my favorites, is Super Mario 2. It's my favorite of the Marios. It's like Star Wars. I like Empire. It's like Super Mario. I like Mario 2. I just have a blast with that game. So much fun. And this was one that I just played a lot when I was a kid, was the X-Men game. Of course I had this game and played the crap out of it. Are you kidding me? Look at the players available. You could be like the classic, right? You could be Cyclops, Storm, Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Colossus, or Iceman. Power Play, Series, Nintendo. Oh, I loved that game. It's all over that game. Now, this one was in the arcades. And sorry, I can see a name on here. This one was in the arcades, and I played the heck out of it when I was a kid. Oh boy, we all love Ghosts and Goblins. And this is a tough game to get all the way through. Wow. This is a tough one to get through. So to have it on my NES was like key. Just so rad. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let my cat in, 'cause we're running near the end here, and he's just going to come in like a burst. I can see it coming. Come on in, Beans. All right. So, yeah, we're hitting near the end. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. And thank Brent for making the effort for coming and talking to us for a little while, because, you know, we're all still wondering, is Brent's secret identity LA Knight? Beans says, yep. Beans wants to go outside. As I say, it's really warm here in Kingston, Ontario, Canada right now. Isn't it, Beans? Isn't it, Beans? He's down on my feet. Yeah, been catching some sun lately, having some great dinners, watching some great shows. So if you're interested in any artwork, please go to our Machete Comics Etsy page. This is going to be a giveaway coming up. I'm going to put a hand-drawn cover on here with white paint ink, and we will have a contest. You have to look on my personal media for that, on my Twitter and on my Facebook. I'll ask the same question across the board there. I'll throw in one more prize. We'll do a draw live on here. Excuse me. And we'll get some winners. And it's for Canadian residents, because I'm going to pay the shipping for it. All right. Now, 1 second. There. Is that better, buddy? He just really wants to be on here, I think. This is Beans. This is the guy we hear screaming all the time. Yes, I know. He just wants to love me a bit. Okay, great. There we go. Okay, so he's calmed down. He's like a baby, huh? This guy thinks he's people. This one followed me home, and we never could find his owners, so we became his owners. So anyway, I want to thank you all for tuning in again. We didn't do a conspiracy theory today because, again, I planned too much stuff, and I think I can get through it quickly, but I can't. And then I run out of time. But I want to thank you all for showing up. I want to thank the Crier Media for having me in part of their electronic family. Very cool. I want to thank everybody who watches all the time. Thank you. We're getting bigger crowds. Oh, buddy. Okay. I know. Can you hear him purring? That's Beans. All right, buddy. There you go. Okay, Beans had his moment. Now I'm going to be all sniffly as he's looking in the background like, screw you, mister. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I've been Chris Machete Cochran, leader of the Cult of Machete, owner of Machete Comics, host and co-host of Live from Machete Comics on the Crier Network. All right. Peace and love, my friends. And as I've been just stating lately and pushing on everyone is to take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. And the best way to do that is to be excellent to yourself. Do you. Don't hurt other people. Be concerned about yourself, not what other people think about you. Do you and enjoy it. All right. Peace and love, planet Earth. Lonnie, you might have to cue me out here because I'm kind of lost now. But thanks for tuning in, folks.